Hello, Bill Molyneaux here with Goober, the Traveling Bear. And we are going to be talking about the Battle of Wyse Fork, my new board game by Bill Molyneaux Games and Blue Panther. And this is an unboxing video here in Virginia. And hopefully this will give you an idea about the game. All right, I have not opened the box. I did take off the shrink wrap. And you'll also notice that Goober is wearing his internship shirt for being an intern to the player's aid. And that's all in fun. Um, anyhows, let's get right to Wyse Fork, the Second Battle of Kinston, March 7th through the 10th. And we did adjust that date. All future copies have the 10th. And we're going to talk a little bit about this game. All right. So, our painting is, I'm going to go through all the credits at the end, but we're painting is of the Battle of Wyse Fork. Mr. McCall is the artist for that. Designed by Bill Molyneaux. Kim Metis was a lot of help in this game. And this game is nothing like anything else I've released in even Wilderness Empires, A Struggle for New France. This is a much different game. We'll turn the box over, and of course, this is a high quality box by Blue Panther. On the back, we show a little bit of the battlefield. The CSS Noose, now in Kinston, North Carolina. They have the CSS Noose Museum, the only ironclad above water. And then outside, behind the museum, is the full-scale replica in Kinston, North Carolina that you can actually walk in, go both decks, the casemate, the gun deck, and Mr. Mike Parker there will give you a guided tour. We also have this little note to save the Wyse Fork Battlefield, the website you can donate, and don't forget on my website or YouTube channel on Bill's History World with Goober the Traveling Bear, we have several wonderful videos of Kinston, North Carolina. Now this game can be played solitaire, and you see 60 to 120 minutes, ages 14 and up, not for small children. And we're going to get right through and pop this box open. All right, now this is the first time I've opened this. So let's see. Well, we're going to just do it by what we find first. Here's their die. All right. Now, nice thick counters by Blue Panther. One of the things you'll notice is this is a low counter density game. Made it that way on purpose, and I had the help of all the historians at Kinston, along with Mr. Wade, the head historian and author of Kinston. These counters have a reduced strength value and a full strength. It also has the CSS Noose. Now, the CSS Noose did cover the retreat for the Confederates during the Battle of Kinston, and then it was scuttled and then raised in the 60s, and now is in a museum. What's neat about the CSS Noose is if it could have elevated its 6.4-inch guns higher, it could have lobbed shells a lot further. So we have our officers, our victory control markers, and these counters are just, the quality of Blue Panther. I mean, these counters are literally falling off the trees. Look at that. I know my past publisher, one of the best things I ever did for my little company is to switch to Blue Panther also, because I had a lot of complaints about counters at times, and I just have to say thank you to Blue Panther and Steve and Trevor. And Trevor did the artwork for the map on this and the counters, and Steve and Trevor did the rule book. So that's it on the counters. So let's look at, well, we have the rule book next. We might as well just go ahead and look at this. Very Very nice font. Right off the bat, you can read it. Explains our counters, our sequence of play, zone of control example. Look at that. I can't say how incredibly happy I am with, I saw the PDF files from Steve, of course, but when you actually are holding the real rule book, it's a lot different. The examples of play, we're at page 7, and this isn't a tight, it's about a 14 font. There's the rules on the CSS News. The Confederates and the Union both want to capture or destroy it, depending which side you're at. You don't want it to end up in Union hands, and the Confederates want to use it to give cover fire as an artillery platform. Our victory conditions for the Battle of Kinston. Kinston is one of the largest battles in North Carolina during the American Civil War, and we have 2 night turns. It's a several-day battle. And our Confederate setup. Now, what I did for our Union troops is it has a variable arrival. That way, when you play this game, it's always going to be different. It's not a one-time. There were several different roads coming into Kinston, and these Union troops will roll to determine where they appear. So this gives this game a lot of playability. You can play it hundreds of times, and it will never be the same. I have to say here on our historical notes, they are written by Mr. Wade Sorowski, and I apologize on the pronunciation of his last name. Mr. Wade Sokolowski, Mark A. Smith, Prepare for Sherman's Coming, and also the Battle of Wyse Fork. The actual historian who gave Goober and I the tour did the historical notes. Now, our history of the CSS News, both the reproduction Ironclad is, I guess Mr. Mike Parker sort of runs that. And then Matthew Young is in charge of the museum, which is across the street, basically. The museum is incredible. Please look and try to visit the CSS News Museum. You will not be, you'd be amazed. All right, our game advisors was Mr. Wade, Matt Young, Keith Hayes. We also have Miss Rachel. She is in charge of the school groups, and we added her to our game advisors. She also was very helpful. So this is a pre-production box I have here. And then for our game design, we have myself, Kim Metis, Steve Jones for edit and layout, box map and counters, Trevor Jones, box illustrations, Stephen McCall, play testers, Bill, Kim, and Lisa Molyneaux. Yes, my wife was forced to help out. And we have the information on both the battlefield, on Save Wyse Fork Battlefield from Highway Construction and the CSS News and Museum Education Center. And then, of course, we have our terrain chart on the back, which is very neat. Now, what else we have in the box? Well, let's see. We have our terrain chart. We have it on the map or on the rule book. And then we have a terrain chart with our combat results. Now, many of you that are used to my war games, other than, I guess, Wilderness Empire, Struggle for New France, most of my games do not have combat result charts. And as you can see, this is a step reduction loss chart. There are not a lot of modifiers on it in that sense. And then over here, it does list what is modified, such as the entrenchments, rivers. And Steve has this laid out so well, where you have the type, the picture, movement, and combat effects. And I'm going to step backwards on one counter I really want to make sure I mention, and I apologize for not bringing it out sooner, is our African American spies counter. During the this time period late in the war, there were African American spies. I have some videos about them on my history channel, and they would be able to give the Union troops a heads up when the Confederates were attacking or moving. So I have the African American spy counter in the game. Now, as far as our map, it's a heavy paper, and wow. Now, I'll lay this out, and I think I'll stop the camera. Well, I think I'm okay. So there we go. Let me adjust our camera. We got to get this whole map in. So here we go. And large hexes. All right. So get down here. Look at that. I mean, I really love having large hexes. You'll notice a lot of my games now, the reprints, Struggle for New France, everything, all the War of 1812, we all have nice large hexes, so our counters fit really nice. So we have our turn tracker over here, which is very nice. And then I have a nice video of both the first Battle of Kinston and then the second Battle of Kinston. And of course, this game is the first Battle of Kinston. And we're going to arrange our map a little bit here. So here's the Neuse River. Kinston sits over here. And our Confederates are along this line. And here's our path to Wyse Fork. And this is a nice big map. Very, very happy with it. Map is designed by Trevor Jones. This is his first map for a war game, and I think he did a fantastic job with it, and I'm very happy with it. So, a couple points that I learned with from Wade is this may or may not be true. It seemed like it has some documentation, but the Union cavalry were here at this mill, may have found some moonshine, and got captured. And the Confederates wrote in their diaries that they think they might have been drunk when captured. The next day would be taken off to the behind the lines. This is the important railroad line, and I've toured these entrenchments in detail, and once again, you can see those tours on Bill's History World on YouTube. And I can't say enough of how happy I am with this game from Blue Panther, of how they produced it for me, worked with all the historians at Kinston, North Carolina also. And I would like to close out that Goober and I spent, we were there for 5 days and one month, and then we went back a second time for about 6 days, and the entire town of Kinston, both Civil War battlefields and museums, and both of the CSS Neuse museums, the reproduction, Ironclad, and the museum itself. Everyone there, Keith Hayes, Matthew Young, Wade, Skip, Dennis, everyone took us through this entire battlefield, personalized tours, and the town itself. We even visited a mansion with two nice ladies, and they told us ghost stories, and I have that on my video channel too. So, Wyse Fork game, low complexity, beautiful map, counters fit in it perfect, and our next video will be playing the Battle of Wyse Fork, and hopefully you'll consider purchasing this, because proceeds for this game I'll be donating my part of it to Wade every couple months. I'll send them a check. That's about it. Goober the Traveling Bear wearing his intern shirt for the Players Aid, and that's all in fun. I hope you'll have a sense of humor and laugh a little about that. And for those asking about my wife, she is doing a bit better health-wise. All right, everyone, that's it. We'll get to, we're going to set this up and make another video of playing the Battle of Wyse Fork. Stay safe, be kind, and be courteous, and thank you for watching.